Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukmaina. Top story: the BJP will be holding virtual rallies across the nation to mark the first year of the NDA 2.0 government later in the day. The first of these events is going to be addressed by Union Home Minister and senior party leader Amit Shah, directed at the people of Bihar today through a video link and Facebook Live. The plan is to catch the eyes and ears of at least 1 lakh people across the 243 assembly segments in Bihar, marking the digital launch of the party's assembly election campaign in the key heartland state. The Home Minister is also scheduled to hold a similar virtual rally for West Bengal tomorrow. Similarly, other top leaders from the party will also hold rallies in other states, which are set to hold elections in the coming months. The high-level army delegation talks between India and China at the Moldo-Chushul border post on Chinese side were held yesterday. Our Leh correspondent reports that the high-level army commanders of India and China held discussions aiming to de-escalate tensions at the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh region. The nearly 6-hour-long meeting was attended by the GOC, Fire and Fury Lieutenant General Harinder Singh and his brigadiers. From the Chinese side, there was a 10-official delegation. Outcome of the discussions at the Moldo post will be briefed to Army Chief General M.M. Narawane. And massive railways operation to help stranded migrant laborers reach their hometowns is continuing with vigor. The railways has facilitated the return of more than 58 lakh distressed migrant laborers to their hometowns. 4,286 trains have been operated by the railways for the purpose so far. The Railway Board chairman has informed that given the huge number of migrant laborers who were in distress at the beginning of the lockdown, 250 trains were operated daily. Eventually, the lesser number of Shramik trains are operated now as majority of migrant laborers have reached their destinations. He said that in the next 10 days, the demands of the state governments will be met and the railways will further try to fulfill any additional demand by states within 24 hours. Railway Board chairman expressed confidence that within the next week, remaining migrant laborers will reach their respective homes. At the same time, the railways, in extending a crucial help in the fight against COVID-19, nearly 5,000 rail coaches have been converted into COVID coaches with a facility of more than 80,000 beds for patients. The railways has accomplished a commendable task in ferrying lakhs of migrant laborers to their home states during the lockdown period, while they won the gratitude of millions of migrants for the Indian Railways. The journey in the fight against COVID-19 continues. And in the third phase of the Vande Bharat mission, the process of bringing home stranded Indians abroad has started. Under the campaign, nearly 65,000 people have been brought home since the 6th of May. During this mission, Air India will operate about 300 flights to Europe, Australia, Canada, the United States, UK and Africa from the 10th of this month to the 1st of July. Air India operated 64 flights in the first phase of the Vande Bharat Abhiyan to bring back stranded Indians abroad, and 12,708 Indians were brought back home. In the second phase, 290 flights operated so far, and 52,113 Indians have returned home. 90 Indian nationals trapped in Kuwait under the Vande Bharat mission reached Gaya in Bihar last evening. Of these, 89 passengers are from Bihar, while 1 is from Jharkhand. With this, over 100 passengers arrived in Trichy from Kuwait last evening by Air India Express flight. Of these, 13 Ramnathpuram Thatades are from Trichy district. After taking a sample to check the passengers, they were flown to their homes by special buses. And the Indian Navy too continues to contribute to the country's national effort to bring home citizens from foreign shores by sea. In the series, Indian naval ship Jalashwa, which reached Malé in the Maldives on June 4th, is expected to reach Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu with 700 Indian nationals today. This is INS Jalashwa's third trip under Operation Samudra Setu. With this trip, INS Jalashwa will successfully bring back nearly 2,700 Indian nationals from Maldives and Sri Lanka to Indian shores under the broader umbrella of the government's Mission Vande Bharat. And let's now take a look at COVID-19 updates as given by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. In the last 24 hours, a total of 4,611 COVID-19 patients have been cured. Thus, so far, a total of 1,14,073 patients have been cured of COVID-19. The recovery rate is 48.20% amongst COVID-19 patients. Presently, there are 1,15,942 active cases and all are under active medical supervision. ICMR has further ramped up testing capacity to detect the virus in infected persons. The number of government labs has been increased to 520 and private labs have been increased to 222. 1,37,938 samples were tested in the last 24 hours. The total number of samples tested so far is 45,24,317. Pakistani troops violated the ceasefire and resorted to indiscriminate and unprovoked firing on Indian forward posts and civilian areas along the LOC in the border district of Poonch yesterday evening. Pakistan initiated unprovoked ceasefire violation by firing with small arms and shelling with mortars in Kirni and Kasbah sectors in district Poonch of Jammu and Kashmir at about 2000 hours. However, alert Indian troops gave a befitting reply. No damage was caused to the Indian side by Pak firing. And Union Minister of State for Development of Northeastern Region, Dr. Jitendra Singh, yesterday launched a booklet and an e-version on one-year achievements of his ministry. In his address, Dr. Jitendra Singh said that the Northeastern region has emerged as a role model in more than one way. He praised the region for setting an example in corona management and reverting back to normal working conditions. Dr. Singh said that this has become possible due to priority and patronage the Northeastern region received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi government in the last 6 years. Dr. Jitendra Singh added that there has been a significant development in terms of road, rail and air connectivity, helping facilitate the movement of goods and persons not only across the region but also across the country. The minister also stated that last 1 year has seen significant development in infrastructure, energy and other sectors in the Northeastern region. Dr. Singh also congratulated the ministry officials for achieving 100% expenditure during 2019 to 20. Arogya Setu, the government app developed for tracking COVID-19 patients, retained its position as one of the top 10 downloaded mobile apps in the world in May. The centre has made the app mandatory for government employees to bolster efforts to fight COVID-19. Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant in a tweet said, and I quote, Arogya Setu, one of the top 10 downloaded mobile apps globally since launch, second month in running. India has led the way in effectively leveraging technology to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. With the prevailing Unlock 1 opening up majority of commercial activities, it becomes more essential to practice precautionary measures. As the markets and street vendors are also opening up after a long halt, the government has issued a set of guidelines for all in order to curb the spread of coronavirus. The government has ordered the ensuring of proper arrangement for disposal of face masks and gloves, along with displaying important helpline numbers. Vendors must also ensure adequate social distancing and must not entertain buyers without a mask. And now our correspondent Shyama Mishra joining us from Mumbai with all the latest updates on the coronavirus situation there. Well, Shyama, if you can hear me, Mumbai continues to, maintain its its position as one of the states, in fact, the entire Maharashtra, one of the states with the highest number of COVID cases. What is the latest update you can give us about how it's being managed by the state government, the issuing of helpline numbers? How are people coping?
First of all, let's talk about the total number that has been, told about the total positive COVID cases in the state of Maharashtra has already crossed the 82,000 mark. And every day we are seeing around 2,000 to 2,500 people, new patients are coming to the fore that they are positive. But the good news is that around more than 1,000 people are getting treated every day under the new guidelines that were issued by the state government. We are seeing that if on a street, market area, if there are shops on both left and right side, then it is on the alternate day that the left side would remain open, would remain functioning, and the other day the right side would function. Every shop has to ensure in that whoever is coming, be it the worker of the shop or the customer, the buyer, everyone should be in a mask. All necessary precautionary measures of personal hygiene has to be undertaken. Also, we are seeing in the guidelines, we did see that earlier that in the Mumbai metropolitan region or from one place to another, if you to travel other than the essential services, you had to acquire passes or special permission. But now, under the new guidelines, the Mumbai metropolitan region, that includes the Mumbai, Vasai Virar, Thane, Kalyan Dombivli, these areas, you can travel without acquiring a special pass. Also, the schools, colleges would open, but this is only for the professors or for the teachers who have to evaluate the papers or who have to make a model for the online program for education. No students would be allowed yet. Another lockdown example, another one, unlock 1.0, we are seeing that along with these measures, a lot of activities, including the jogging, running on the areas which are the sea face and other areas are open. But here also we saw that the open air gym equipment, those equipments are not allowed for the people to touch or not allowed for the people to operate here. So a lot of new measures phase by phase are coming in for unlocking the state and unlocking the country.
Right. Thank you very much, Shyama, for that update. And now moving on, the government has rebutted the claim that tiger deaths are increasing in the country and has asserted that their population is on the rise at 6% annually. The Environment Ministry yesterday said that due to efforts of government through the National Tiger Conservation Authority, the tiger has been taken from the brink to an assured path of recovery. This is evident in findings of the quadrennial All India Tiger Estimation conducted in 2006, 2010, 2014 and 2018. In a clarification over tiger deaths in the country in the last 8 years, the ministry said some media reports on figure of tiger deaths are lopsided, sensational and misleading. The National Tiger Conservation Authority has said that what has to be highlighted is the fact that 60% of tiger deaths in India are not attributable to poaching. For the period 2012 to 2019, it has been observed that the average tiger deaths per year in the country hover around 94, which is balanced by the annual recruitment as highlighted by this robust growth rate. NTCA said it maintains the highest standards of transparency in making tiger death statistics available to citizens so that people can make a logical assessment. And according to the data from the Johns Hopkins University, the global count of coronavirus cases has surged past 68 lakh, while the death toll has topped 3,98,000. The US currently accounts for the highest number of infections and fatalities with 19,19,000 confirmed cases and with more than 1 lakh deaths. Brazil comes in second with 6,45,000 confirmed cases, followed by Russia with more than 4 lakh cases and the UK with 2,80,000 cases. Regarding fatalities, the UK continues in the second position after the US with more than 40,000 deaths, which also accounts for the highest fatalities in Europe. Other countries with over 10,000 deaths are Italy, Brazil, France, Spain and Mexico. And in the US, the number of deaths from coronavirus reached 10,09,791 with more than 19 lakh confirmed cases. New deaths due to COVID have been curving downward in the country, but there has been no decline in the rate of the spread of the virus. However, New York State, which has been the epicenter of COVID-19 in the US, has recorded its lowest daily coronavirus deaths for the second straight day. New York City will begin reopening in a phased manner from the 8th of June, which will bring about 40 lakh employees back to work. The first phase of reopening will allow construction, manufacturing and wholesale supply chain. Meanwhile, in Massachusetts, Governor Charlie Baker said businesses can reopen with some restrictions on Monday, following a steady drop in cases and hospitalizations. Retail stores and restaurants with outdoor tables will reopen. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro defended his government's move to partially withhold official data on the scale of the coronavirus outbreak in the country. He said that other actions are underway to improve the reporting of cases and confirmation of diagnosis. Brazil's total COVID-19 deaths have surged to 35,026, making its overall toll the third highest in the world, while the country registered more than 6,45,000 confirmed cases. Meanwhile, some cities in Brazil have begun drive-through COVID-19 testing in response to the worsening epidemic situation in the country. Locals can now download a special mobile phone application to make an appointment for COVID-19 testing starting this weekend. During the process, people do not need to get out of their vehicles but just drive in line to pass the testing tent where medical staff can verify their identities and take blood samples. And the UK's death toll from coronavirus crossed 40,000. UK Health Secretary revealed the latest set of coronavirus data, which makes the UK the hardest hit country in Europe. He also said that from June 15th, all people attending hospital, including staff, patients and visitors, would have to wear a face mask. The same rule will also apply to people using public transport. Meanwhile, British places of worship will reopen for individual prayers from June 15th after being closed to the public in March as part of the lockdown. In addition, government plans for relaxing rules on outdoor dining and weddings. In other updates, Mexico reported 3,593 new confirmed cases of coronavirus and 341 additional fatalities, taking the toll to 13,170. Meanwhile, the government urged citizens to see a doctor early if presented with coronavirus symptoms, as the country struggles to flatten the infection curve months after going into lockdown. Mexico has gradually reopened the economic activity after long quarantine period. Nepal reported 2 more COVID-19 fatalities. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, with this, the COVID-19 death toll in the Himalayan nation has touched 13. Officials said 323 more persons have been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past 24 hours. The number of coronavirus cases in Nepal has crossed the 3,000 mark and reached 3,235. Meanwhile, 32 people have recovered and been discharged from various hospitals. There are 2,857 active cases, while 365 people have recovered so far. 13 persons have died of COVID-19. Of 77 districts of Nepal, 70 have reported coronavirus infections till date. And time to take a look at the top stories we're tracking at this hour. BJP all set to begin its nationwide digital rallies to celebrate completion of the first year of the Modi 2.0 government. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will connect with people in Bihar today at 4 p.m. India and China hold high-level army delegation talks at Moldo-Chushul border post on Chinese side. Discussions aimed at de-escalating tensions at the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh region. More than 58 lakh passengers transported to their home states by 4,286 Shramik special trains. Railway Report hopes all migrants will be taken to their homes over the next 1 week. Booking on for third phase of Vande Bharat mission to help Indians stranded abroad fly home. Over 1 lakh Indians have been flown home so far. INS Jalashwa is bringing back 700 Indians from the Maldives to India. Active cases of COVID-19 in India stand at 1,15,942, 1,14,072 cured and discharged. Recovery rate climbs to 48.20. Total 6,642 fatalities reported till now. Over 68.58 lakh people worldwide infected by coronavirus. Deaths surpass 3,98,000. US tops the list with over 19 lakh people infected. Brazil comes in at number 2 with over 6,45,000 patients. That's all in this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Namaskar.